Welcome, everyone. Let's jump right into today's explainer on resource conservation. We're going to be looking at the psychology of abundance through a really simple yet incredibly profound narrative. It's a tale of water conservation, and honestly, it's a massive wake-up call about how easily our daily habits just totally detach from global realities.
So what if one day there was just no water left? I know, it's a jarring thought experiment. Imagine a world where the taps run completely dry. It feels almost impossible, right? We're so used to instant access to clean, fresh water. But to truly grasp the value of this resource, we literally have to imagine what happens when it simply vanishes.
No drinking, no bathing, no plants. A world with zero water means the immediate end of our basic survival, period. It wouldn't just be some temporary inconvenience. Everything we know would grind to an absolute halt, and it would take the nature around us right down with it.
Okay, Section 1. Meet Rahul, a boy with a bad habit. To really understand how easily we take this stuff for granted, let's look at Rahul. He was a super happy kid, but man, he recklessly wasted water. Brushing his teeth with the tap just running, taking excessively long showers, splashing water aimlessly while playing. He didn't do it out of malice, of course. It was just a complete lack of awareness about the larger system.
Well, his mom saw the issue loud and clear. She was constantly trying to instill the idea that water is fragile, warning him, "Rahul, don't waste water. It is very precious." She desperately wanted him to understand that just because water flows freely today definitely doesn't mean it holds no long-term value.
But Rahul, he just laughed it off. He'd say, "There is so much water, Mom." And honestly, this is a classic case of the illusion of abundance. It's that huge psychological trap where we assume the well will never run dry, simply because, well, we haven't seen the bottom of it yet. Which brings us to Section 2. The summer everything went dry when the water stopped.
The crisis escalates over a single day. Seriously, imagine waking up in the morning and the tap just stops working. Nothing comes out. By noon, the panic sets in. The town's main tank is completely empty. And by the afternoon, entire neighborhoods are queuing up in the blistering sun for just one single bucket of water. It really happens that fast when the system fails.
Now for Section 3. The struggle without water. The real consequences. The stark contrast between our basic daily expectations and a dry reality is absolutely staggering. We expect water for drinking, but suddenly, boom, no water to drink. We expect hygiene and bathing, but the taps are bone dry. We expect nature to thrive, right? But the plants immediately begin to wither and dry out. Moving to Section 4. A change of heart. Realizing the truth. Standing in those agonizing lines, the reality finally hit Rahil like a ton of bricks. Seeing his entire community struggle just to get a single bucket completely shattered his illusion of endless abundance. All those times he left the tap running, they suddenly weighed so heavily on him. He finally realized a really hard truth. Water is not unlimited. So he completely transformed his routine. He swapped out the reckless, long showers and open taps of the past for a totally new normal. Short baths, keeping taps tightly closed when not in use, and careful use, treating every single drop like the finite resource it actually is.
Which leads us to our final section, Section 5, becoming a water hero and leading by example.
But here's the coolest part. Rahul didn't stop with his own habits. He began showing his friends that saving water literally saves lives. The community impact was incredible. People started saving water, the plants became green again, and water was finally used wisely. The whole community basically healed their environment by working together.
His transformational journey culminated in one simple, undeniable truth. Every drop matters. It's such a profound realization about the tragedy of the commons. Unfortunately, he had to experience a severe crisis to finally understand it, but he got there.
The ultimate takeaway from this explainer is that our future depends on how carefully we treat our resources today. Every drop of water is precious, and we have to save it for the future. Saving it isn't just about getting through the week, It's about safeguarding tomorrow and truly recognizing our interconnectedness with the environment. So, I want to leave you with this final, absolutely vital question to reflect on. Do you save water? I mean, take a hard look at your own daily routines. Are you falling for the illusion of abundance, or are you actually treating the resource with the respect it deserves? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember, every single drop counts.